Alrighty, guys. Alrighty, guys. Alrighty, guys. Welcome to day 2 of the TFT tournament. If you haven't been following along, we're going to be doing 3 days of group stages. We have 12 players total in this tournament, and so we split them up into 3 groups. Each group with 4 players, and so we're having each group play with the other 2, and it's going to take 3 days. So yesterday we had groups A and B go head-to-head, and I guess all the players are fighting each other, but it's really those 2 are kind of playing together. Today we have groups A and C, so in group A, our players are Brandless. You'll see him here on the right-hand side. We have Blue Flare as well, Tuba, and Soul Reaver in group A. And group C today, it's the Wookiee Warrior Sapper Squad, and I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but S King JKJ, and then Diderasart is the other player in Group C. So our standings thus far, Brandless and Blue Flare had really good games yesterday. They're leading Group A. As far as advancing to the finals goes, top 2 in each group move on. And then of the remaining 6 that didn't get top 2 in each of the 3 groups, top 2 overall point scorers of those 6 will fill out the last 2 spots in finals, and then we'll have a day of finals where we'll play 3 games, hopefully, and we'll see who's the best of the best. Sorry about the quality here, guys. TFT actually doesn't have a spectate mode within the client, so we have to kind of be solutions-minded, and I'm actually using Discord spectate. We're going to be following this from Soul Reaver's point of view, so we're seeing things on his screen, and the quality is absolutely abysmal right now, but we can kind of make out the players' names on the right-hand side and what kind of compositions are being run here. So hopefully the quality will reset and kind of improve as we move along. But right now we're working with what we have. So we've got Soul Reaver here playing with a couple of Divines as well as the Chosen Elise with the Keeper spat, not the... Man, this quality is absolutely awful. Wonder if maybe we can have somebody else be streaming this. Oh, there we go. Kind of reset. Just as I was complaining. We're in that Wukong there. Already got the Wukong 2 along with the Irelia. Divine is one of the top compositions in TFT right now, especially if you utilize the Warwick carry. Pair that with Adepts. Shen, Irelia, and Yone into the late game to pair with the Warwick in a 6 Divine composition. One of the strongest you see right now. So Soul Reaver already with that Irelia. Wukong's not a unit you keep around in a Divine comp, but really good to grab that trade early. Scouting over here. Taking a look at a couple other boards, but he's going to be focusing on his fight here with Blue Flare, who looks to be running Duelist. I'm not sure whether that Yasuo's, I guess it would have to be Chosen Duelist, because can't get a Chosen Exile. Into our first carousel here of game 1. Sapper Squad and Soul Reaver are going to be our first out here. In this TFT meta, maybe even earlier in set 4, but especially in set 3, it was really good to try and go first in the carousel. Try to get some good losses where you only lose by a unit or 2. Try and get some of those first items. But now, with the items coming here in set 4 and the state of the meta where it is, it's much more important to keep up the HP bar. And a lot of the items that are really core to compositions, Quicksilver Sash, Sunfire Cape, run off of a lot of those lower priority item components. So you can get away with a lot more even if you go last. So it's not necessarily as good to try and intentionally get yourself a first pick on a carousel, unless you're going to a composition that needs like a ton of bows or a ton of rods or swords. We see her Soul Reaver really potentially leaning into this Divine comp, throwing in the Jax there. Jax usually plays as a tank for the Divine composition. A Sunfire Cape is really good on a level 2 Jax early. Playing up against S King here. Again, not sure you pronounce his name. It could be Skin GJKJ, but I'm going to call him S King because I feel like it. I want to do what I want to do. Looks like he's running Cultist here. Already got that Galio in there with a Nidalee. Don't think the Lisa is going to be able to 1v3 here, especially with the time running out. Yeah, that spear hits. Soul Reaver will take his 3rd loss in a row. Yeah, Brandless and Blue Flare did really good, or did really well in day 1. Again, only Group A played in day 1. We had Group B playing yesterday, but they're not playing today. They're playing tomorrow. So Brandless Blue Flare won, or Brandless won game 1. Went to Kane carry build. Blue Flare won game 2. Actually, can't remember what he went. Both these players played pretty diverse compositions. They didn't really meta slave to any of the popular builds right now. Take a look at Sapper Squad's composition from Soul Reaver's perspective. Does look like he's running those sharpshooters with Annie, Tom Kench, and Garen to tank. Not sure if he got that Warlord trait in there or not. Yeah, Sapper Squad losing a ton of HP here early. I think that might be a 5-game loss streak. Not what you want. Again, it's really important to keep the HP bar high. Adaptability with the new Fates mechanic here in Season 4 makes it so that it's a lot less rewarding to force. Because if you're trying to force a comp and you lose too many combats early, you're just going to be put in a really bad spot. With the chosen mechanic, you can have a comp in mind that you want to go, or that you're really good and comfortable going with. But you can just play a set of good units early on and keep your HP high, so that when you do start to fill out and lock into that composition you want to go, you have an high HP bar to work with, and it's really easy to adapt with the chosen mechanic. So HP is a big thing here early. Does grab the Irelia 2 here. Maybe holding out on that. Looks like it's a 4 keeper strategy here. Not sure if he's going to go with 6. Keeper is actually a really good early trait. Part of what's helping Soul Reaver do really well. Like I said, that Elisa's chosen keeper there, not Cultist. So I wonder what he's going to pair with it. I'm actually not too familiar with the keeper compositions and what you run with that. Normally I see it as a splash trait to help bridge like early mid-game into something completely different in the late game. Take a look at Wookiee Warrior here. This is a full Warlord build. Not sure if he has that 6 Warlord, but you can see the Nidalee there, the Xin Zhao, the Katarina. Ooh, might be going Katarina carry here. That's a really good item for her. She'll get this ult off. I hope it does get cancelled by the Wukong ultimate. Yeah, the Yasuo with the Warlord spat though. So if it is a Garen Warlord chosen, that would be 6 Warlord already from Wookiee. Kennen about to ulti here, so be a close fight, but Wookiee does pick up the W there. Starting in the beginning of round 2 of, what do you call it, stage 3. Yes, starting in the beginning of stage 3, you'll see most players either pushing for 6, or if they're playing something that they want to slow roll, staying around 5, level 5. Contemplating slapping down these BFs and bows is Soul Reaver here. Maybe not the exact items that you want in a keeper composition, but definitely really good for Warwick if he tries to transition into Divine. We have our little cheat sheet as Soul Reaver's got his Blitz up there in the top left with the Warwick chosen Divine up there. Probably one of the best compositions, like I mentioned, in this meta. So if he does move away from the keepers, I'd like to see him sell that Elise here pretty soon if he gets a 4th Divine, so that he can actually have the chance to pick up a chosen Warwick. Dita Resart, or Big Sexy, as he likes to be called. Going with a Vygar build here. Does have the double Vanguard with the Thresh, but it's likely going to be Elderwood into Vygar carry. Utilizing Vygar for the Mage is not necessarily the best. Mages are really difficult to run. You have to use Annie as your tank, usually in order to pull a 6 or potentially a 9 Mage composition off. It's pretty tricky. It can be really annoying. when everybody's casting their abilities twice. But if you see Vigor carry, usually better paired with the Elderwood. Ooh, don't drop that Deathblade on the Jax. Save it for the Warwick. We get to see Brandless's composition here. Only lost once. Got a couple of Callistas in there. Does have the Elise, the Cultist ability there, along with the Evelyn. So kind of an interesting setup. The Silas really not pairing well with any of the units, but making it work. Callista, a really strong unit, and with a level 2 Elise, some good items. Like I said, Brandless is a player who plays kind of whatever he wants to. Is a really high-ranked player, high diamond in TFT, and one of our players who really doesn't force, or not necessarily force, he really doesn't prioritize strong compositions. He just plays whatever he wants to, and is able to get the best units and put good items on them and find a lot of success. Chain Vest is really good here for Soul Reaver, one of the best items you can get in the Divine build. I would have liked to see him pick up that vest a little bit earlier to maybe throw a Sunfire on Jax. He needs to be saving those damage items for the Warwick. Happy our quality is staying pretty high here. It spazzed out a little bit, really blurry early on, but we're looking good. Probably pick up this Jax here on his board. If he wants to go for Jax 3. Yeah, I guess Jax 2. I think next strongest Divine is that Lux. Man. Some of the best items on the Warwick are the Deathblade, the QSS of course, and then a bow item. You can go Rapid Fire is fine. You can also go I forget what the one that's called that bow mixed with the cloak. Get to take a look at Tuba's composition here. Has a little bit of everything. Not sure what traits he's running besides the Cultist there. Did have a Sharpshooter, saw the Zed in there. Ninja Zed was a composition that was really popular last patch, but did kind of fall out as they really did gut Zed. Nerfed him pretty hard, so now if people run ninjas, they normally run something like an Akali carry. Zed really isn't doing as well as he used to, or as he did last patch. It was like just nerfed pretty hard. He would go Zed with Ginsu's Rapid Fire Cannon and QSS, jump him onto the back line, and he would auto so quickly and just shred the back line. Not to mention the other 3 ninjas are just really good standalone units like the Cannon and the Shen. Taking a look at some other of these builds. See Wookiee Warrior still leaning into the Warlord, serving him really well as he's win streaking here. Good to be win streaking right after the carousel and into the neutral round. We see S-King's build. It is Cultist, so we have a number of Cultists. Probably a lot of them run for Splash. Cultist is one of the best Splash traits to get relatively early. It's just so strong to pair with kind of what you're wanting to run. 6 Cultist is really good if you pair it with Keeper. That's one of the top compositions right now. Get a Riven. Maybe grab a Cassiopeia in there to pair Mystic with Zillion and Dusk with the Riven. But normally, and then if you go 9 Cultists, is actually still really good, but you have to get it chosen in there. And it's tough. Oh, there's the Lux for the 4th Divine. I'd like to see him pick up this Lux and sell that Elise, because he needs to start leaning into Divine here. He's lost. Not sure if he doesn't see that Lux or is just contemplating going something other than the Divine composition. So we'll see if he does end up picking up this Lux. Belt's really good here. You can throw that with the. I guess he already slapped the Chain Vest, and he does end up missing the Lux. So not sure if he didn't see that or just wasn't going for it. So Sapper Squad down to 35 now, so he's definitely at risk of getting eliminated pretty early here. I don't remember what composition he was going. I remember S-King was going At least had cultist in there for, at least had 3 cultists at the minimum. Onboard Blue Flare here, who appears to be going some form of duelist, does have yeah, just some really good units he's putting out here. Not necessarily a ton of incredible synergies, but his Yasuo and the Riven are just tearing through Soul Reaver's composition right now. As Brandless takes his, I think, second loss of the game there to Big Sexy's composition. Pulls in a Nunu and a Riven. I wonder if he's actually truly leaning into 6 Keeper. Does just need that Azir. I'm not sure. I can't tell if he's actually going with the, if Soul Reaver's going with the Keeper play here, or if it's, or if he's leaning into Divine. So picking up a bunch of Jaxes. Get to take a look at D to Resart, aka Big Sexy's composition. Does have a 3 Elderwood play in there. I guess it could be 4 Elderwood. The Thresh to pair with the Hecarim for the Vanguard. That actually is a Thresh 3, if I can see correctly. And then the 3 Mage, of course, with the Annie, Vigar, and Lulu. So, interesting split of Elderwood, Mage, and Vanguard. I guess Vanguard is probably just a splash, but with the 3 Thresh, I don't imagine he would sell that. Not sure if he's going to be leaning into 6 Mage or 4 Vanguard or 6 Elderwood. I feel like 6 Elderwood would be the play there, but Wookiee Warrior still hasn't lost in quite a while with this Warlord composition, and Brandless takes a 3rd loss there too, which drops him down below 80. Still in 2nd, but haven't been on board Tuba in quite a while. Just picks up a Z3, as you see on the right-hand side of your screen, so I'm curious if he's running that as his main carry. I think I did see a rapid-fire cannon and at least a cloak on the Zed last time. Onboard Sapper Squad here, who's going with some sort of a Fortune composition. Double Vanguard there with the Aatrox, and then a couple of Sharpshooters in the back. So I know it is 3 Fortune, double Vanguard, 2 Sharpshooter at least. Ton of items on Soul Reaver's Jax here. Oh, this Jinx ult might pick up both of them here. Yeah. Big stun. I think Sapper Squad will pick up the win here. These are our 2 lowest point getters here. They're about even right now. One might be a couple points. Yeah, Sapper's just 1 point above. Sim and Soul Reaver will get to go out first. Wonder what Soul's looking for as far as items. The Azir, I think, is what he wants to go for that 6 Keeper. He does gun straight for it. I wonder if this bails him, how much this bails him out. I've actually never played 6 Keeper, so I don't know exactly how good it is, but we will see 6 Keeper here, because there's only 5 of them total, but that Keeper, Elisa, that he got at the very beginning is chosen. Alright, he's going to look to get that Azir in there. He's missing 1 Keeper. Who does he not have in right now? The Kennen. Did he sell the Kennen? He might have accidentally sold the Kennen. He had that on his board earlier. Sapper Squad pushes level 8 there. Big Sexy hits 7. Take a look at Brandless's comp here. It is the Cultist here, but he's also got the Lux in there to pair with the Jax for Divine. So it looks like a 4 or 5 Cultist. Don't think he has the 6 out there. And I think Brandless is going to drop to the 5 Keeper composition. He makes it close here with this Callista, but in the end, the health bars on that champion not quite high enough. Is going to pick up a second Wukong too here. I think he might be trying to refine that Kennen there. I'd like to see him roll down and try and get that. Not sure necessarily what he's keeping though. There's the Kennen right there. I'm not sure why he doesn't grab that up and throw it in. Yeah, he's thinking about it. There it is. Wonder if he puts that in for the Thresh. Yeah, he does. Okay. The 6 keeper is on the board. Curious to see what a big boost. Alright, we take a look at Tuba here for the first time in quite a while. Does have that 2-item Zed there. Yeah, and you can see that third hit. We just lost a decent bit of quality here, but you can see that third hit on the Zed. Zed's ultimate, or I guess passive. Every third hit he does extra damage. Not sure what it's based on necessarily. Looks like a really close fight, but Zed's not dead yet, so I think it's got about half health. Azir knocks everybody away, but it is going to be the Zed carry taking over. As Soul Reaver just loses a couple more HP down to 9. Sapper Squad hanging in there as S-King falls to 8. Get our quality back here finally. So after 6 keeper, what do you go here? Do you I wonder if you try and find a third warlord at level 8. I wonder what the play is here. If he's trying to get that Warwick gets in there, but I don't really know where you put that. Is it in place of the Jax, the Wukong? Well, he's trying to 3-star both the Jax and the Wukong, so I don't really feel like there's much of a place for the Warwick, especially if you're committing to 6 keeper. Does take both the Kennons there, so Kennen 2 is actually a pretty big spike. I'd like to see him drop the Morello on that right away. I think the Kennen is very good with the Morellonomicon. Not only does his ult do damage over time because it casts for a while, but the Morello will follow up and do a lot of burn damage after that. Onboard Blue Flare now, who here is making a Divine / Duelish / Enlightened type of comp work out here. I think those are the traits he's going on. The Divine Spatula on the Yasuo means I think it is 4 Divine from him here. Big ultimate from the Kennen, but I just don't think the tankiness is there. The Yasuo absolutely taking over this fight. Soul Reaver, unfortunately, is going to get put out here in 8th. Gets to scout, I guess, now. On board the Wookiee Warrior. Haven't seen him in quite a while. That's 7 Warlord. He might be trying to go all the way in for 9 Warlord. Does have the Spatula and the Chosen, so can do it. If just needs to find his Azir. And with Soul Reaver's Azir going back into the shop, there's a chance that he gets that if he decides to roll. I think it's take a look at his economy, but onboard Big Sexy here with just needing his 6th Elderwood. Has the Vanguard spat there on the Thresh. Interestingly. Brandless picks up a Warwick. Oh, I really like those items on the Warwick. A couple of the best ones. So he might try and go fully into Divine here. Not sure what the play is here. This Yasuo here from Blue Flare. With the Divine Spat and the Deathblade is absolutely taking over. Sapper Squad and S-King hanging on for their lives. Both of them pull out wins to take down... yeah, Wookiee Warrior drops his first game in probably quite a while there. Oh, big fortune payout there for Sapper Squad as he grabs 2 Nico's help along with about 10 coin. Big Sexy there, trying to hit level 8. Get that Alduin in there. Garen 3 in for Wookiee, but man, he really needs level 8. And those last 2 Warlords. Warlords isn't that great of a composition right now. It's pretty hard to run. 9 Warlords can do really well, but it's kind of a top 4 at best. So it's kind of biting your nails until you get that 9th Warlord. It's really hard. Probably going to end up losing out here to Big Sexy's Mage Elderwood composition here. Well, I guess the Jarvan is staying in it, and I might have spoken too soon. Lilia lands the ulti and stuns a couple, but Wookiee absolutely sustains like crazy through that fight. S-King JKJ does get put out that round, sadly, so he'll go down in 7th for this one. Sapper and Tuba on the edge, getting put out. Ooh, nice. Big Sexy picks up that Elderwood spat, so able to grab 6 Elderwood here. Warmogs for the Wookiee Warrior. Imagine he'll put that on the Garen if it doesn't have 3 items already. Just got the Garen 3. Taking a look here at Blue Flare's composition, it is 4 Duelist, 4 Divine. Does have the Enlightened with the Jan and the Aurelia. Goes up to 6 Duelists here. Lee Sin in there, along with the Fiora. The Jax with Sunfire. This is a really strong composition. Ends up putting that Elderwood spat on the Lilia to go up to 6 Elderwood. So he's looking really strong. This is a really big spike for him, especially with those items he's got on the Vygar. Goes up against Brandless here. That Vygar getting tossed about right now, not able to get as many ults off as Big Sexy may have wanted. Here he'll go with a couple, yeah. Those Vygar ultis, if you get some items on him and the Mage spat, it's just 2 ults, 2 kills. So strong. Brandless will fall down to 15 HP. Wookiee Warrior loses, but not by much. Blue Flare also drops. Sapper Squad and Tuba hanging in there still. 8 Warlord. Wookiee's up to 8. Needs his Azir. If you're level 8 and you have a chosen Warlord and a Warlord spat, you can hit 9 Warlord at level 8 as long as you find your Azir. Brandless really wishing he had a level 2 Warwick right now. The pivot to Divine might have been a little too late. Goes up against Tuba Zed carry now with the GA as his last item. He's going to be popping this Lux as this Zed. Zed versus Warwick is going to be the story of this game. But the Warwick with the Yuumi hopping around. Not able to quite kill off the Zed, but the rest of his units are able to win the fight, and I think Tuba's going to get put out here in... Yep, does go down in 6th. Tough finish for him. Sapper Squad on a hot streak. I want to see what composition he's going. I think the last time we checked in on him and talked about his composition, he had a number of cultists in there. I'm not sure if he fully committed to that or used it as a splash. This Divine Yasuo is such a huge carry for him, for Blue Flare here. Bloodthirster. Might see that go on the Jax. It also is really good on the Xin Zhao or the Lee Sin, but he could kind of go any route with that. Ashe 2 here for Brandless. Wookiee still in 8th. Or 8 Warlord. Econing at 20 gold. Try to find that Azir that he can put in. Still level 7 too, so does need to also think about how he saves his gold to level to 8. I'm not sure how close he is on that one. Gonna go against Blue Flare's duelist composition right here, and the Yasuo is just tearing it up. There is actually no match on this board for the Yasuo right now. Wookiee takes another big hit, and Brandless is actually going to go out in 5th, his lowest finish. out of his 3 games so far. Sapper Squad hanging on at 4 HP. Got the 6 fortune. I didn't even notice he was going 6 fortune. That's huge for him. Able to pick up even more here. You can see he got so many spats, he was able to get a Force of Nature on his Tom Kench. Gets a bow and another spatula there. Absolutely crazy. 3 items on the Jinx. 3 items on the Sejuani, 2 on the Tom Kench, 1 on the Aatrox. Ghostblade on the Nidalee. Wonder if there's any other good builds to run with Fortune besides Sharpshooter. I don't ever play Fortune, so I don't know what you pair it with. Ooh, we get to see Sapper versus Blue Flare's composition. Keeping an eye on this Yasuo here into a couple of Vanguards. So this is Sapper's kind of the guy that's really built to deal with this duelist composition. Winning the fight on most fronts. Yasuo's lifestealing, but can't do it enough, and Sapper takes the win. Top 4 situation here. That's big sexy. Up to 4 Vanguards to pair with his 6 Elderwood. Jarvan 3 here for Wookiee. Zinzao 3 for Wookiee. But at 0 Econ, level 7 on 8 Warlord, even with those 2 level 3s, he's still probably kicking himself not getting a hold of that Azir and going to 9 Warlord. Has been losing a few combats now in a row, so clearly what he's doing is not quite enough. We see the top 2 clashing right here. Sethresh gets kicked off the board. Taking a look at the Veigar carry versus the Yasuo carry there, and Wookiee Warrior gets absolutely destroyed by Sapper Squad's Fortune composition. And on the other side we see Blue Flare getting his units kicked off the board one by one. So now we're in a very interesting top 3 where I feel like each of these guys could beat the others. I think Sapper Squad, actually no, Sapper Squad might have been beating Big Sexy's Elderwood composition. What are the items here? It's the Static Shiv there. Blue Flare might try and get that. Goes for the Jarvan. Wonder who the Loons is going to go on in the Elderwood composition. Pan to somebody else. There you go. So Sapper Squad with that Yone over there on the right hand side, his right hand side of the bench, the Static Shiv. The Fortune buff is crazy. So much stuff with every round. I feel like if you can find a really good something to pair with the Fortune, you can have a lot of success. Ooh, Sapper versus Dita Resart. So much happening right now. Sapper's still got his 2 sharpshooters alive though. I wonder if he's able to out-sustain this fight. It looks like he will. The Veigar's still alive, but with nothing left to tank for him, that's going to be a Jhin shot. Runs away from the power shot. Oh man, and this top 3. 9 points, 8 points, and 4 points. So this is going down to the wire right now. Sapper Squad feeling really good about this 6 Fortune comp. If you remember, he was at like 30 HP when everybody was 80s and 90s. Some were 70s, but he was really low. I don't know how many rounds it's been since he's lost, but he's absolutely killing it right now with how much gold and items, components he's able to rake in. Blue Flare setting up right now, and actually Sapper's going to go against Blue Flare's clone. So I have a bad feeling about Dita Resart here. He might get put out in 3rd. He's going to be going against a Blue Flare, and he has not been winning those. So Sapper Squad, you can see, is easily able to handle Dita Resart, but oh man, it's really close here. The Veigar's still alive with the Lulu. Is putting down the pain. Just the Yasuo is still alive. It's just too much. As the Lee Sin does not quite kick the Nunu off the board, but Oh, he eats the Yasuo. The Lee Sin comes back and kicks him off the board. Oh my goodness. That was. You feel so bad if you're Dieter Rissard. He had that one. Lee Sin with his dying breath kicked the Nunu across the board that was about to eat him. That's really funny. Now Blue Flare's got to think about what he can do to beat Sapper Squad, who's been rocking a really fierce win streak. Got a hold of Jin 3. I don't know if that happened recently, but Sapper Squad with Jin 3 there, and at least 2 items, if not 3. Blue Flare looking for his coins. RFC there. Let's see what he puts that on. Oh my goodness. Sapper lands on Jinx 3. Oh man. That's actually so insane. Is Jinx a 3 cost or a 4 cost? Well, as we're talking about Jinx and Jin, he hits Katarina 3. That's just absolutely absurd. The amount you're able to roll with how much gold you get, Fortune, I imagine, is what's leading to all these level 3s. So yeah, 2 3 costs and a 4 cost. He's 3-starred here. What can Blue Flare do against this overpowering Fortune comp? Fortune comp has been a meme in TFT. Azir gets a nice knockup. The Jinx and the Jin are still alive, and I don't think Blue Flare can do anything against that. That's it. Sapper Squad takes first place in game 1. One more game for tonight, guys. Each of these 3 days we're playing 2 games. Take a quick audio break while we get the guys ready, checked, and about to head into game 2. All right, getting into game 2 here, guys. Let me see if I can pull up the standings. Actually, no, I haven't even updated game 1. I'll pull up the standings after this game. But if you weren't here for the very beginning, like I was mentioning, we have 12 players in this TFT tournament. So 3 groups of 4 each. And so Group A is going to play 2 of the 3 days, Group B 2 of the 3 days, and Group C 2 of the 3 days. Today is Group A and C, and this is the second game. So after today, Group A is done. We're seeing the first of Group C. So Group A, just as a recap, is Blue Flare, Soul Reaver, Brandless, and Tuba. So today will be the last games for those guys, and then Wookie, S King, JKJ, Dita Resart, and Sapper Squad. Today's their first day, so they'll play tomorrow as well versus Group B, who you guys have not seen yet. Game 1, Sapper Squad's Fortune Comp took first place. Blue Flare in second with a 6 duelist Divine Yasuo. Yasuo is actually such a hard carry. Worked really well. Third place, Dita Resart came in just third with his Elderwood Mage Vanguard composition. I think he was 4 Vanguard at the very end. Fourth was Wookiee Warrior. Couldn't find his 9th Warlord. Went out in 4th on 8 Warlords with Katarina carry. 5th place, I believe, was Brandless. Trying to remember what he ran. Probably look it up. Tuba, remember, ran Zed carry. Can't remember if he got all 4 of his ninjas or what he was pairing with the Zed, or if he was going Shade. I know he had Cultist early, so he might have done Shade. I can't remember. But anyways, it was a Zed carry. Went out in 6th. Zed carry is not as good this patch as it was last. Skin JKJ, S King JKJ went out in 7th, and Soul Reaver went out in 8th. So we're watching this from Soul Reaver's perspective. Thanks to him for streaming. By the way, TFT unfortunately doesn't have an official spectate within its client, so you have to try to make do with what you have. And for now, it's Discord streaming without any dark magic. So good to see what these guys bring in game 2. Last game, Soul Reaver went for sort of a kind of a divine keeper hybrid. His first chosen unit in his shop was a keeper Elise, or a keeper, chosen keeper Elise. Picked that up right away and actually went into 6 keeper. Kind of had the opportunity to go to divine, but ended up passing that up. Soul Reaver, he hasn't actually played a lot of set 4, so he's just kind of trying out stuff. Dita Resart, who went Elderwood Vanguard Mage last game. Again, these first couple rounds for a TFT player are all about keeping your health high. If you lose, you don't want to lose by much. You don't necessarily need to try forcing the comp you want to run. You want to prioritize running good stuff at the beginning and keeping your HP high. Because it's really easy with the chosen mechanic to kind of instantly pivot into something that's really good. So you don't want to try to be sacrificing by putting bad units on the board to try and force something that's good in the late game, when you can get away with putting in totally different good units at the beginning and then transitioning quickly into a good composition in the mid game. So taking a look at Blue Flare here with that chosen Nidalee. Does have the Vayne for Sharpshooter, the Thresh for Dusk, and the Diana for the Moonlight Assassin. So I wonder if that Nidalee is a chosen Sharpshooter or a Warlord. We might find out based on his next couple of purchases. Sapper Squad and Dita Resart, unfortunately, losing almost all of their units both rounds, already down to 84. Tip for TFT players right here, you want to level. If you see Soul Reaver's board right here, you want to level, pre-level. Or do what's called pre-leveling. Right here, you want to level up to 8 out of 10. So as soon as the carousel hits, it'll convert you to 10 out of 10. And as soon as you emerge on round 4, right after the carousel, you will hit level 10, like it'll be a timing thing, and you'll have a chance to get a level 4, as well as higher chance to get level 2s and 3s. So what you want to do is actually level, or buy XP here and go up to 8 out of 10. Ooh, can this Jax 1v2 here? Doesn't quite get as the Akali 5-point strike comes out. Going into carousel in 1, Dita Sarart and Sapper Squad will have the first dibs there. Ooh, an early spatula on the board. Sapper picks that one up. I'll have to take a look at his composition and see what he's going to be using that for. Wookie might try Warlord again. Beeline straight for the Katarina. Glove works on Katarina. You would probably turn that into a QSS. He ran Gunblade as well last game. Gunblade's a really good item on Katarina. Not sure what your third item is. I haven't played Warlord in a while. But Katarina carry is probably the best Warlord. Unless you're really ballsy and save up items for Azir. You can make Sharpshooter work with Warlord by getting a Jinx to pair with the Nidalee early. That can kind of carry you through the mid game. So you notice how Soul Reaver just leveled right there, but he did it after his shop was presented. So he didn't get this round in his shop. He didn't get that chance for a level, or a 4 cost, sorry. So you want to have done that before Carousel. Going with the 3 Warlord, 2 Duelist. Not a bad start. 3 Warlord is okay. Going up against a really strong Garen. Brandless appears to be running 2 Sharpshooter, 2 Brawler. Not sure if that Garen chosen is Vanguard or Warlord. I don't know if there's a way you can tell from just spectate without looking at his board. Bluefire and Brandless haven't lost a match yet. Ooh, contemplates the fortune chosen, but holds off there. Could throw in the Janna there to pair Enlightened with the Fiora. But Nidalee is level 2. So it's not the easiest choice to make. Wookie here looks like he has 2 Brawlers, 2 Assassins. So maybe not running that Warlord this time. Just grabbing that Assassin to pair with the Akali. And then of course the random Nami in there. Big ult from the Katarina. This is going to be a really close one. Can the Nunu... Gets killed in the middle of his consume. Garen v Garen. Brandless is 2 item. Garen takes that one. Going into the neutral round, it's always best to try and build up a win streak before that. Obviously, as a general rule, if you can pick your wins and losses, that's usually when you'd want to lose right before carousel and win right before neutral. So neutral round actually it doesn't count as a win or a loss, but if you have a win streak going into the neutral round, you'll get the gold from that win streak even after the neutral round. Win streak won't go up or down, but if you're holding on to that win streak, you can get that extra couple of gold from it after winning the neutral. Definitely got a couple of gloves there. Thief's gloves isn't. It's like really situational. Gloves are good normally for you like it for the QSS, the IE, the Last Whisper. Pulls the Janna onto the board here. I didn't get a chance to see her. I guess I wasn't paying attention. He sells it. Never mind. Take a first look at S King JKJ. Definitely looks like he's running the Warlord. So this is almost the exact point in the game in which we spectated Wookiee last time. Can't tell if he has the 5 or 6 Warlord yet, because I don't know what chosen that Garen is. Cut a bunch of spinning to winning with the 2 Garens in the Katarina. It's actually going to be really close, but the Nidalee is unfortunately focusing the Garen, so I think Warlord comp will take this one. Soul Reaver just loses out there. Brandless and Blue Flare still up there at the top, haven't lost a single round each. Picks up that sharpshooter, so it's really nice to get in there with the Nidalee. If I were him, I'd pop out that... Actually, I don't know if I'd pop out the Fiora. Might pop out the Jax. Get in the Jinx. Might be trying to go Warlord here. Not sure if he's... I guess he would have scouted that his opponent, that he has an opponent going full Warlord. We're on board Dita Ressart here, who looks like he's going all in for Cultist. The Jarvan there is a keeper to match with the Elise. Jarvan is actually a really good unit to pair with Cultist early. Keeper is one of the strongest splash traits. Looks like Dita Ressart's Cultist build will win the match here. I usually like to run the Kennen with a Cultist, especially since you get the Aatrox later. Pull a bunch of units into one spot. Kennen drops the ulti and kill a bunch of people. Curious to see what Soul Reaver goes into here. See if he commits to Warlords or looks for something else. Get a look at Tuba's composition. I'm guessing that TF has the Mage Spat on him. Or not the Mage Spat, sorry, the Mage Chosen. Even if it doesn't, still would have the 3 Mage. This is Veigar. Makes short work of Soul Reaver's units. Brandless takes his first loss. Blue Flare still up there at 100. Another spat there. Actually, we haven't gotten to take a look at Sapper Squad's composition yet. Wonder what he's running. He was the one that picked up that first spatula on the first carousel. Soul Reaver contemplates, but goes for the Vi with the vest. Spatula is still open. Tuba's gunning straight for that. This is interesting. I like to... You can imagine that Tuba's either going to drop that as a Mage Spat or an Elderwood Spat. Because he's running Veigar carry. You can tell that for sure. I already had the level 2 Veigar with the Gunblade. Veigar just does so much damage. I've seen players run Veigar almost full tank. They'll take the Gunblade or maybe even a tier and then go 2 tanky items after that. And actually make it work just because Veigar's ultimate just does so much damage. Sometimes if you build him damage, it can be a waste of damage because it'll just end up being overkill. Especially if you're playing into more squishier comps. Soul Reaver bringing in his chosen Aphelios Hunter. Beginning of set 4, Aphelios was one of the strongest units. I remember running like playing beginning of set 4, and there were probably 3 to 4 Moonlight players a game just because of how strong and contested Aphelios was. You'd run Static Shiv, Guardian Angel, and something like maybe Ginsu's. The most OP part of Aphelios was GA, where if he would die and go into his GA stasis, his turret would still keep whacking for so much damage. It was so broken. Everybody was running that composition. Be like, how many Moonlight players am I gonna see in my game this time? They've since gutted Aphelios, and now Moonlight is... I've seen it played most successfully with the Diana carry. Pulls the Jinx in for Sharpshooter, so kind of abandons the Warlord there. Doesn't have the Duelist trait anymore, so I like to see that Jax come out. Maybe get that Jarvan back in. Probably not the Fiora. You're not really helping out your synergies. It is a level 2 over the level 1 Jax, so bit of an upgrade, but onboard Wookiee Warrior here, looking like a Spirit Hunter build. He's got three spirits there. Oh man, those Ash items are really good. Yeah, just so much upfront damage from that Hunter Spirit composition. Looks like 3 spirits there. I think the next one up is the Ahri. I can't remember how many spirits there are. I feel like there's 5, and then I might be missing one. But yeah, the Ashe items, Giant Slayer is like one of the best. QSS is almost a must if you're playing an ADC carry. Like Ashe especially, who has so much sustained potential damage. You don't want her dying early. Don't like the GA as much. I'd rather see something like a Ginsu's, or even a Hand of Justice for the healing. A lot of items sitting on the board for Soul Reaver, and I'm not sure that he just decided really what he wants to focus. So a lot of those items are just going to hang out there until he... It's a lot easier to decide where to put your items if you've decided what comp you want to go. The items aren't incredibly good for Aphelios carry. He's got that in as the Chosen. Drops the Infinity Edge. A lot of cloaks there. QSS, he could put that there too. Yeah, he's gonna slap that down. If he wants to run the make Aphelios as the main carry, I want a bow. You can either get the Ginsu's or the Static Shiv. Sapper Squad, get to see his Warlord composition. It looks like that's what he used his early spatula for. Wookiee Warrior already down there at 25. What was he running? Oh, he was running Ashe, and he was running Hunter Spirit, I believe. It's hard to run that composition. You don't have much of a front line. You kind of have to get a splash Vanguard, a couple of Vanguards or a couple of Brawlers in there to be able to even get your other damage off. Dita Resart, strong Cultist build. Looks like... I don't think he has his Chosen out there, does he? Oh, it might be the Pike Chosen. Yeah, it looks like based on the size of the Galio, he's already at 6 Cultists. It'll be interesting to see. Dieter's already... He's on a win streak right now, so we will get to see whether he decides to go gun straight for 9 Cultists or to run something else with 6. Like I mentioned in the first game, there are a bunch of people running Cultists, and I really like the Keeper. Grabbing a Riven, going like Keeper, Dusk, Mystic. You can go the Cassiopeia for Dusk with the Riven, Riven with Keeper for Lise. Zillion is obviously the 5-cost Cultist that would share the Mystic trait with the Cassio. There's a really cool couple of units you can bring in there that add to the strength of the Cultist composition quite nicely. Ooh, really strong Riven items here from S King. It is the level 1 Riven. Let's see if he's able to keep it alive. Big ultimate there, and oh man, Soul Reaver taking so much damage here. This might be a full Dusk for S King. I only see 2 Dusks there right now, but as Dita Resart takes out Brandless there, barely. We haven't gotten to take much of a look at Brandless and Blue Flare. Both of those guys were at 100 for a while, have since lost a number of rounds. S King, JKJ, who went out in 7th last game, is up there in 3rd right now. Zillion with a BF. It's actually really good. An outstanding Cultist. You grab a tier and put the Sojin on the Zillion. One as probably, other than maybe blue buff, arguably Zillion's best item. So that's Sojin. See if he has a tier on his board to match up with that, or we'll hope to get one in the final neutral round of Stage 4. Stage 4 is the last round where components come out in the neutral round, and in the I guess not in the carousel, because later carousels you can have, occasionally you'll have a single component in there, but it's not guaranteed. Most often you find full items. Couple of frozen hearts there. Looks like Soul Reaver really trying to lean into this hunter. Level 2 Aphelios. Let's take a look at Brandless. Still running that Garen. Those goofy little items. Sharpshooter has 2 Cassios in there. Kennen and Jarvan for the keeper. Not sure what... Oh, I guess the Cassio's pairing with the Riven. And Soul Reaver actually making really short work of Brandless. Only loses 3 of his units. Keep wondering where Brandless is going with his builds. He has such random unit synergies and items, and still makes it work more often than not. So at some point there's got to be a method to the madness, but I still haven't figured out what it is. If he's trying for Aphelios 3, want him to sell his yeah, buy that Aphelios. There you go. Soul Reaver almost no gold. Onboard Tuba here, who's been kind of stuck on this Elderwood Mage composition, did get the spat and drop that Mage spat on the Riven. So we'll see how that does. Oh, I'm actually really curious to see how Mage spat works on Riven. Ooh. Not going to be enough as Soul Reaver's going to lose. Again, does not quite go out, ends at 2 HP. But is in danger of going out here in 8th, again, unfortunately. See if we can get that 4th Hunter in. If we found an Ashe here, that'd be pretty sweet. Probably smart for him to save. Oh, Aphelios 3, nice. I say that and he rolls and gets Aphelios 3. It doesn't get it in time for the neutral, but he'll have it in time for his next actual combat. Gets almost nothing out of that. The stage 4 neutral round is notorious for like suddenly giving nothing after you get a bunch the first couple of neutrals. Wonder what he's rolling down for. Maybe trying to get another hunter. Ooh, blue flare. Didn't get a chance to see what he was running, but ooh, Tuba 6 mage. I just caught that. So it looks like he is leaning towards mage. I guess it'd be a combination of Elderwood and mage. Probably be smart of him to stick at 6 mage and don't try and go to 9. Just because you kind of sacrifice your front line if you go to 9. We see Sapper squads, a Kali carry. Keepers and Warlords. Ooh, this level 3 Aphelios is doing work. Soul Reaver. On the precipice of going out. Holds at 2 HP. It's level 3 Aphelios carrying the fight there. Gets his ear too, but doesn't actually have that unit in. I would put it in for another one of those Warlords. Yeah, I'd have liked to see that Azir go in for maybe the Garen, and then slap the tank items on the Jarvan. Alright, trying to hold at 2 HP. Here comes Wookiee Warrior. It's going a Spirit Hunter composition with the Nunu Elderwood Warwick. Yeah, so a little bit of Elderwood, a little bit of Spirit. Let's see whose carries are going to be stronger. This is going to be really close. Nice knockup from the Azir, and I think Soul Reaver might have this one, but the Warwick is healing just too much. Ashe goes into stasis, and The Warwick healing was just too great with the rapid fire and the Elderwood. Gained stronger over time in combat. Soul Reaver going to go out in 8th place. Unfortunate, it does drop an 8th place finish both games tonight. Get a chance to spectate some of the others though, as the quality dies down quite a bit. Usually it'll get a lot better after a couple seconds of blurry darkness. I don't know why Riot hasn't officially added a TFT spectating on. This game's been out for quite a while and enough people have asked. Sign a petition. Let's take a look here at Tuba versus Blue Flare. Tuba, of course, running that 6-mage composition. Keeper Dusk for Blue Flare, obviously playing around that Riven with a Death Cap. The Ahri absolutely goes huge in that fight. 6 mage is a really fun composition to run because you just get to do so much, and it annoys the heck out of all the other players because they're always knocked up from the Lulus and the Namis. Plus Annie can act as a pretty strong tank with her shields. And Tuba collects the 9 mage by bringing in the Lilia. The mage trait gets better and better. The more damage, it gets better with its damage, the more mages you have. So at 3 mages, your mages do cast twice, but with only 80% spell power, if I remember correctly. 6 mages, they cast twice still, but with 110%, I think, and then it goes up to 140% spell power, with a double cast on each of their abilities at 9 mages. So Tuba all of a sudden looking here like the guy to beat. Sapper Squad unfortunately does go out as well, so 7th place finish for him, but with the 1st place today, he won't be too bummed about where he'll be sitting in the standings after that. Did it with fortune no less, so pretty impressive for him. Still on board Tuba here with his 9 mages. Going to go against Dita Rissard's Cultist. What is the Chosen? If it is a Chosen Cultist, I don't see a non-Cultist unit here from Dita Rissard, so he might have... Oh man, and Tuba absolutely gets destroyed by this Cultist composition. Is that 9 Cultists? I didn't pay attention to how big the Galio was. Wookie puts the QSS on the Warwick, so with the 4 Hunter, 4 Spirit, 3 Elderwood, 2 Brawler, a really solid level 7 composition. The Kindred and the Aphelios are kind of awkward in there. Especially with only Ashe, especially with not having Ashe 2 yet. We pulled out one of his hunters and didn't put anything in? That was weird. Might have been an accident there. Blue Flare with the Keeper, Dusk Keeper. That Riven is going huge in the back line. Can the Warwick sustain the Cassiopeia and the Petrifying Gaze? Oh, the Warwick might sustain. No, but the Riven does survive. Takes down the Ashe, and with a really strong tank Lilia. It's a big Nunu, though. I think the Riven's damage is just a little bit too much. We might see the Wookiee Warrior going out in 6. He does, negative 6 HP. Unfortunate for him. I swear he pulled out a Hunter for no reason there and accidentally had a had another unit bop in there at the last second. I don't think that was intentional. Sad for him. Blue Flare and Brandless back on top again. Both running some form of Dusk here. Both running Dusk Keeper. Blue Flare with the 3 Cultists in there, and Brandless committing fully to Dusk. So it does have 6 Dusk, which is so strong. If I forget whether his Riven is level 1 or 2. Yeah, level 1 Riven. If he can get that to level 2, he's going to be crazy strong. Almost has a Lilia 2 before the Riven 2. Cassiopeia 2 for Blue Flare. Both rounding out their Dusk compositions. Not really getting in each other's way, though. mean, potentially, but seems to be working out for them. Dita Ressart here. 9 Cultists. He is going to knock up all of the Dusk units from Brandless, but I fear he doesn't have the damage to deal with this. The Galio, probably the strongest unit on the board right now, is the Callista and the Jhin are still alive. The Jhin gets the res from the Zillion, and Dita Ressart, that enormous level 9 Galio, absolutely holding down the fort. The Jhin and the Callista staying alive with no HP. Pulls out a clutch win. Secures himself 4th place as S-King JKJ does go out right there in 5th. So we're in a top 4 situation here. Blue Flare, Brandless, Tuba, and Dita Ressart. 3 of our Group A players with 1 of our Group C players. Get a look at Blue Flare here, who's put in the Kayn and the Azir. Now he's able to get a 2-star. Does have a Chosen Kayn. That's insane. Chosen Shade Kayn with the blue buff. Kayn, one of the best legendary champions out there right now. Not sure if Brandless can hold here. Just such good units here. The Azir's going to knock people out of the way, and the Kayn's going to clean up. Good night. Brandless takes a ton of damage there. As on the other side, Dita Ressart actually edges out Tuba. We're still at our top 4. Bluefire looking like the strongest player right now on the board, though. With that level 2 Chosen Kayn, that's insane when you get a Chosen Legendary. What a good feeling that would be, especially with as strong of a unit as Kayn is. Can't tell what item that is there on his board. If that a Sojin or a Zephyr or something like that. Wonder what he's waiting for to plop that on the board. Gets a set in there as well, as if he needed more 5 costs. Puts the Bloodthirster on that one. We see him going up here against Dita Ressart in this 9 Cultist build. See how well it'll go. If he's able to keep the Jhin alive. Does go into GA, but immediately has a Kayn and an Aatrox on him again as he responds. Again, it's up to the Galio to hold down the fort, but unfortunately this time all of his units are dead, and I think we might see Dita Ressart going out here in... Oh, he goes out in 4th. So Tuba actually went out first, but only lost, or only went negative 7 HP. Dita Ressart lost just a little bit harder. Now it is Brandless versus Blue Flare, and we saw this combat happen just a little bit earlier, and Blue Flare took it pretty handily. Oh, he did grab that Gunblade. I imagine he'll slap that right on the Kayn. With how often Kayn is able to cast his abilities, I just don't see him losing. Wonder if he's trolling by not dropping these 3 items. Maybe he's scouting and he'll drop them on. It's probably a pretty good strategy. Use your time to scout and then drop the items right on as soon as the combat starts, at least if you know what you want to do with them. Alright. Final 2 contestants here. Petrifying Gaze does stun quite a few members here, but a lot of work being done by Brandless. But Riven is still alive, but it is a level 1, and that Kayn with the Gunblade, like I said, just wreaking so much havoc, and that's going to do it. Blue Flare takes game 2 for tonight, and that will end day 2 of the TFT tournament. See if we can get the... I tried to click the continue there. That's so funny. See if I can update these standings in live time so you guys can see what's going on here. First, a quick audio break. GG's.
No, he sold his cannon.
Oh, no.
He sold his cannon.
Oh, I had admittedly
He hit 9 on 1 cannon. Yeah, sold his cannon.
Is the match already over? Holy, that was a quicker one.
Yeah.
Did someone just like pop off? What did you have?
Yeah,
Well,
what's up?
I don't know. I think I've been ahead the entire time.
Yeah, he
I
was
think
he
I've
was
been-
100 HP at
I
Wolves.
think I dropped first too the entire game.
Ugh. Dude, I was so excited when the hunters started popping off, but I knew it wasn't gonna last unless I found something, you know? No. Um, no. so- Oh no, what I did was I added a level 2 Lulu thinking that her like growth would help me survive longer so that the Ash could actually do something. But I don't know if maybe it would have been better to add the
But
first hunter.
did